When Sarah died, Abraham knew that he had to find a wife for his son Isaac. He called his servant in and said, I'm going to send you back to my homeland, and there I want you to find a wife for my son Isaac. Now, make sure that you don't choose any woman from around here. She is to be from my country and from my family. Well, the servant was concerned. He said, what if I find the woman and she's not willing to come here? Possibly I should take Isaac with me back there. Absolutely not. You're not to take Isaac back to that country. God gave me this land, and Isaac is to inherit it. She must come here. The angel of the Lord will go before you, and he will prepare the way. And if the woman is not willing to come back, then you're free from this obligation. So the servant went on that journey back to Abraham's homeland. When he came to the town where his relatives lived, the servant stopped at the well that was just on the outside of town. He prayed, "Oh Lord, lead me to just the right woman for Isaac." And then he had an idea. He said, "Lord, I will know that she's the right woman, that if I ask a drink of water, she will offer to draw water for all 10 camels." Just about then, Rebekah came out of the town. She was beautiful and virtuous. And she wasn't married. Rebekah filled her jar and was ready to leave when the servant said, "Please, may I have a drink of water?" She gave him a drink of water and then offered to draw water for all 10 camels. As she was doing this, the servant prayed and asked that God would confirm that this was the right one. After she was all done, the servant gave her jewelry and then asked her, "What family? Who is your father?" Well, she told him who her father was and who her grandfather was. He asked if there was room for him to stay in their home with all his servants and camels, and she said there was. The servant knew this was the family of Abraham. But then the girl just turned and left. She went back home and told about the man back at the well and what had happened. Well, when Laban saw the jewelry that she was wearing, he rushed back to the well and said, "What are you still doing here? Come, we have made preparation for you back at the house. You may come. There's plenty of room for your servants and your camels. Come." When they got back to the house, they prepared a meal and asked the servant if he would eat with them. And he said, I will not eat a meal with you until I tell you my story. He then told him about the assignment that his master, Abraham, had given him. He said, "I asked for a sign from God, that whoever he chooses would be the wife for Isaac, that she would not only give me a drink, but also draw water for all my camels." And Rebekah did exactly that. I think she is the one that God has chosen for my master. Well, both men were amazed when they heard this and agreed that truly she must be the one. They immediately gave their blessing. The next morning, they asked Rebekah if she was willing to go with Abraham's servant and marry his son Isaac. She agreed. And so her family sent her off with Abraham's servant. When they got back to the land, Isaac was out in the field, and he looked up and he saw the camels coming towards him. He started walking towards them, and Rebekah saw this man out in the field walking their way, and she asked the servant, said, "Who is that man coming towards us?" He said, "That's my master, Isaac." Immediately, Rebekah put a veil over her face. When Isaac got there, the servant told him about how God prospered his journey and all that happened. And so Isaac and Rebekah were married. And he was comforted from the death of his mother. And the love between Isaac and Rebekah was great.